Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
I'm Tim Stanivek along with Carol Master. Let's take a look at some stocks on the move this week. We are joined by Bloomberg News equities reporter Avalon Purnell. There were a lot of stocks that made big moves on the week, and a lot as a result of the macroeconomic backdrop of the U.S. and Israel war against Iran.
Absolutely correct. Our team was very busy this week, and I think we could probably start off with airlines. So taking a look at United Airlines, that's ticker UAL, and also Southwest, which is ticker LUV. Both of those had a very brutal week, to say the least. United Airlines tumbling 13%, Southwest falling about 16% this week. And that's all because it seems like the hopes that the Iran conflict would end quickly are quickly fading into the background. And with that, jet fuel prices have soared. It's important to note that for airlines, jet fuel is responsible for nearly a third of cost, and the price of that jet fuel has gone to over $4 per gallon, and previously last year was about $2. And so Deutsche Bank said that kind of represents an existential threat for these airline carriers. So it'll be interesting to see how they field that risk and mitigate those issues.
That's a big move to the downside on those names, so we'll see. And all of it is so contingent on how long this goes on. Let's go on over to the cruise lines.
Yes, a kind of similar story. Carnival, ticker CCL, and Norwegian Cruise Line, ticker NCLH, also both down about 18% this week. But it's not just fuel costs for this situation that are handing them a beating. It's also the fact that, given where the conflict is happening, it could disrupt their cruises to the Middle East and also the Eastern Mediterranean, very popular spot. And we actually had Bloomberg intelligence analysts write that their ability to offset such costs with efficiencies kind of depends on the Strait of Hormuz remaining open, which, as you guys already mentioned, is not guaranteed.
Yeah. I would think twice, right, about cruising in the region?
Yeah. if they're
not to state the obvious,
if they're
everybody.
even operating.
Yeah, if they're even operating, they're probably not, right? So, yeah, it's just, again, we're starting to see and start to assess the impact. Certainly, again, goes to how long this goes on. Where shall we go next?
Lastly, we have software, which, despite all the red that happened this week, we did have a couple of green spots, and software was one of them. ServiceNow, that's ticker NOW, very easy to remember, up about 14% this week. That's its biggest weekly leap since April. And that's partially because they were able to kind of beat back some of this anti-AI sentiment in the market and shake off those industry-wide concerns, along with other software names as well, like CrowdStrike. Citizens out with a note today saying that ServiceNow remains an attractive opportunity for long-term capital appreciation. And basically, they say, along with a lot of other analysts, that the downward move last month went way too far. Now, to note, they are still down 19% this year, but a good sign.
But it's also, you wonder, at some point do investors say, okay, these names have been beaten up. We're making a very big assumption about the future of a certain entity or company. And then so they say, well, wait a minute, let's look at the fundamentals. This maybe makes sense. And this is why we've talked a lot about buying the dip this week. Got anything for us, Stanivek?
It took me a while, but I found it. Okay.
What were you looking for?
I was looking for
jet
fuel prices. This is a jet fuel New York Buckeye MOC. If you want to look it up on the Bloomberg terminal, because it just shows the chart, it's Jet IN YPR index. And right now, we are at $4.11, or sorry, $3.89. The highest was back in 2022. And that's when it was at $7.66. So a far cry from where we were back in 2022 when there was different inflationary concerns, but just in the last few days up close to 70%. Incredible.
That's a big move.
I know I'm jumping around a little bit, Avalon.
That's a big move. No. Sorry.
And look, Talia has it up on the screen now.
I know.
Amazing.
But this is what the Bloomberg does to you, though. You just want to kind of play with it. Avalon. Thank you so much, Avalon Purnell there, Bloomberg News equities reporter. Check out our Stock Movers podcast, 5-minute episodes, big winners, losers at any given moment in the market day. You can find it on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts. Of course, this was some of the big movers for the week overall.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.